Let's return now to our top story. We did tell you that the Senate committee has passed the 1.48 trillion naira 2025 Appropriation Bill for Rivers State following the presentation and consideration of a report by its Ad-hoc Committee on the emergency role in the state. The report was laid before the chamber during plenary on Wednesday and subjected to a clause-by-clause consideration by the Committee of the Supply. The bill scaled third reading thereafter. Also submitted were reports on the screening and confirmation of nominees for key state institutions, including the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, Civil Service Commission, Local Government Civil Service Commission, and the Primary Healthcare Management Board. A debate arose over Clause 311, considering the appointment of a non-indigene to head the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, but was later put to bed after a series of deliberations. For some perspective, we're joined by Epelle, a political affairs analyst, who joins me now to discuss the appropriation. Thank you very much for giving us your time. Given the significant increase from 800 billion 2024 budgets to what we now have in this appropriation bill, what factors would you say drove the substantial revision? What specific development projects or initiatives are prioritized in this bill that weren't adequately addressed in the previous one?
I will say to you that there's no other way I can describe this other than political rascality. I don't get it when a sitting governor of a state, and that's my state, had appropriated 1.1 billion for a year, and now we have a president who is in Abuja making appropriation for people in Rivers State. And he's saying he wants to spend 1.4 trillion. That, to me, shows a gross financial violation because, I mean, the sitting governor who was elected, did appropriated 1.1. And now a president who is in Abuja, who doesn't have a feel of what is going on in Rivers State, is sitting down to appropriate 1.4 trillion. I don't get it. Our question is, what mechanism did they use? Who was consulted? Where did the various department that is responsible for formulating or appropriation of this nature, were they consulted? I would tell you for free, no. And so what we have today is a total violation of the Constitution, a total neglect of the people, an absolute aberration of the scarce resources of Rivers people.
Some would argue that the Constitution, as far as Rivers State is concerned, has been suspended. As such, we have an emergency rule. Everything is being handled at the federal level. Whatever concerns you may have would have to be treated, but the state has to continue functioning. So aside these concerns about illegality, are there issues with the budget that concerns you more, or you would rather disregard the entire process?
It's an absolute unseriousness on the part of those, both the executive arm and the legislative arm that are passing this budget, are totally, completely unaware of the people. And I've always been focused on the people of Rivers State that has been marginalized, this gross injustice being perpetuated on them, this total disregard of dignity and the human rights of persons from Rivers State that are being violated. There is nothing legal about what they're doing. They know what they're doing. It's almost like they're trying to gather or maybe take funds from us for whatever reason that they want. I mean, this whole thing is just too laughable on the part of the citizens of Rivers State. we shouldn't be treated like this. We accept,
All right.
we refuse to accept this rascality.
Two things as you speak, sir. Instead of concentrating on the budget, let me ask you this instead. The state of emergency was declared for initial 6 months, and I'm just counting in my head from March to now. This will be the 5th month, meaning that next month we're supposed to see some sort of reaction from the federal government as regards the situation in Rivers State. Would you much rather there is a stalling of issues that have to do with the finances of the state until issues are resolved, or there should be some other way for this to be managed so that affairs in the state and workings will continue?
Well, any right-thinking person will toe the line that you just expressed. Any right-thinking person, Take, for instance, you're making a budget for a governor, or so to speak, the administrator who is not elected, who is now making a budget that will be forced on an elected governor when he assumes office. And that's one thing that is of concern to me, because these individuals were never given the mandate. The president was not given the mandate to rule Rivers State. He wasn't. He was given the mandate to rule the entire country and have a sitting governor that reports to the people that elected him, and of course he will respect the president. However, what they're doing right now is set a booby trap for the governor when he has resumed, and we need to watch it, because this is a mockery of democracy. And we cannot continue like this and think that we are practicing democracy. We are practicing what I call democracy. That's what it is.
I mean, it's almost mute, but I have to ask it. There was a mention, and you also alluded to it, that the budget was drafted with Fubara's return in mind, so that there can be some sort of seamless transition and continuity in governance. Do you see that as, something that is achievable, considering how intricate the whole thing has become?
Listen, I don't even believe anyone anymore. I don't believe anything coming from the government anymore, because it's like a state of a quagmire. It's like we are in a banana republic. That's what it's looking like, And so you listen. I'm so very emotional about this, because this is a violation of the rights of citizenry that is supposed to be part of the Nigerian project. But we've been treated like an outcast. We've been treated like we don't have a voice. We've been treated like we doesn't matter. We've been treated like we don't have a say. And this rubbish must stop, because we can't continue to endure this rascality. You don't spite on my face and expect me to keep quiet.
In 40 seconds, beyond, sir, beyond the strong words that this must stop, I mean, there seemed to be some quiet in the past 6 months that all of this is. Do you think that something concrete is being done to restore democratic rule in Rivers State? The 6 months is almost done. What is the plan?
Listen, the truth be told is not that it's been quiet, it's just that the people have become stoic. The people have just accepted their fate the way it comes. But it's not going to continue that way, because one day someone will stand up and challenge this injustice. And people like me, you can't keep me, I'm not going to shut my mouth off, I'll keep talking. And I'm not afraid of anybody. I don't care what they will do to me. I care about the people that I speak for, the people that I represent, the people that I know don't have the voice that I have, the people that I know can do the travels that I do. that's the people that's the purpose of whatever I do. And for how long must we keep quiet when this evil will try? Because they say, when good men keep quiet, evil will try. And I, Jake Epelle, am not going to keep quiet.
Jake, thank you for giving us your time on the news tonight.
I just want to thank you guys at News Central. You're doing the best for humanity, and you have become the voice of the voiceless. My regards to Shola and my friend, your managing director, and Joe.
Thank you very much.
Rock.